Okay, so now for question number 24 from the textbook of P1 IAL, review exercise number 1, page 83. We're asked first, in part A, to factorize the expression x cubed minus 4x. Well, we take out the common factor, which is x. We're left with x squared minus 4. We have a difference of squares, so you have x times x plus 2 times x minus 2. Okay, that's part A done. Then part B tells us to sketch the curve with the equation y equals x cubed minus 4x, showing the coordinates of the points where the curve crosses the x-axis. Okay, so this will cross, this is a cubic curve first. First you see the highest power is x cubed, so it's a cubic curve. Okay, cubic curves either have a shape that goes up and then up, or down and then down. Okay, if it has a positive x cubed, then it will be up and then up. So this is the one that we're looking for, not that one. And secondly, we need to find where it crosses the x-axis. Well, that's when y equals 0. It crosses the x-axis when y is 0. Okay, so when y is 0 is where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, so we got x cubed minus 4x equals 0. So we need to factorize this fully, which we've done. So you have x times x plus 2 times x minus 2 is equal to 0. So we know that x equals 0, x equals negative 2, and x equals positive 2 is where it's going to cross the axis. And that's enough for us to be able to sketch this curve. So I'm going to draw a pair of axes. Okay, it's just a sketch. It doesn't have to be very accurate in terms of where you mark things, but this is the origin. This is minus 2. This is, let me write that a bit neater. This is minus 2, and this is plus 2, roughly the same distance away from the origin. And the curve will be cubic going up, down, up. It'll go through minus 2 going upwards, through 0 going downwards, and through 2 going upwards again. It has that shape. So it's going to look something like this. Try and make it look like a curve. What you'll notice is the peaks. Let me try and make this a bit better. The peak here, okay, will be halfway between where it cuts the axes. So I'm trying to make it a bit neater. Okay, so that's y equals x times x cubed minus 4x. Okay, even at the end here, I noticed they were a bit strict with curves, especially the sine curve in the last exam that took place. So I'm trying to be a bit careful not to make it look too bad. Should look like a cubic curve, should be curved. Try not to make too many straight line looking parts. Okay, so now that's y equals x cubed minus 4x. That's part B done. Okay, now part C, it tells us to, on a separate diagram, sketch the curve with the equation y equals x minus 1 cubed minus 4 times x minus 1. So we're going to have to sketch y equals x minus 1 cubed minus 4 times x minus 1. Now this particular equation, if you compare it to the original equation was y equals x cubed minus 4x. That's what's drawn up there. Now how does this become that? You don't have to expand all this and bring it together and then sketch that new cubic function. You can see there's a connection between these. Normally when you have to sketch a curve and sketch another curve of the same question, there will normally be some connection that will help you to sketch it without much difficulty. And you can see what's happened here is that the x has been replaced by x minus 1. It's as if you've taken this x and replaced it by x minus 1. So it's like a transformation of the form like this, where x minus 1 has taken the place of the x. In that case, we know that this is a transformation which represents a translation. A translation of one unit to the, remember it's inside the function, it's opposite. So it says minus 1, it's 1 unit to the right. So it's a translation of 1, 0, okay, of this curve. So the x values are all, you add 1 to them, and the y values are the same, they don't change. So all these, basically all you have to do is to redraw the same graph, okay, but just shifted to the right slightly. So we'll have something like this. Instead of it going through -2, it will go through -1. Instead of it going through 0, it will go through 1. Instead of it going through 1, it will go through 3. That's all, something like that. Okay, so that's your y, that's your x-axis. Let's make this one a bit longer. And oops. Okay, there's your origin. So it's going to go, this will have the same shape exactly. It's just shifted across one space to the right. So it's going to go up and down and then back up through 3. Something like that. Okay, y equals, I'll write it here. That's y equals x minus 1 cubed minus 4 times x minus 1. Okay, now the question doesn't tell us to do this, but if it did, it would ask us to find where it crosses the y-axis. If it asks us to find where it crosses the y-axis, you would substitute x equals 0 in here. In which case you get minus 1 cubed, which is minus 1, and minus 4 times minus 1, which is plus 4, so it would go through 3. It would cross through 3 if they asked us to find the place where it crosses the y-axis. But they didn't, so you don't need to do that in this question. Okay? Alright, so that question is done.